welcome to Catalan News, today from the Catalan Parliament. It was supposed to be another historic and probably tense session today here in the Catalan Parliament for the swear-in debate of Carles Puigdemont as president, but Catalonia still has no new president. The parliamentary session was suspended by the Speaker, who is seeking to hold it with guarantees. But that means the debate here, where we are in the Catalan chamber, might take some days to be called again. There were discrepancies in the pro-independence bloc because of the Parliament's president putting the session off. Right outside this building, thousands of citizens took to the streets looking forward to seeing Puigdemont reinstated. They didn't see it happen, but they did make their presence obvious. There was much expectation here today. Around 70 media outlets from all over the world, plus many more from Catalonia and Spain, gathered to see what was set to be a crucial day for Catalan politics. After last month's elections, in which pro-independence parties prevailed, today a leader for the country was due to be sworn in, and the direct rule of Catalonia from Madrid had to be lifted. But none of this happened. The candidate with more support in the chamber is still Carles Puigdemont, and everything is now down to the Spanish Constitutional Court and the Catalan Parliament president.
It was to be a busy day in the Catalan Parliament, but in the end very little actually took place. The investiture debate was set for 3 p.m, yet it was uncertain whether it could be held as the Spanish Constitutional Court had ruled that Carles Puigdemont can only take office in person and only with judicial authorization. Early in the morning, the Parliament President, Roger Torrent, announced that the session would be postponed until the Constitutional Court had made a final decision. This changed how the whole day would unfold.
El ple d'avui queda ajornat, però en cap cas desconvocat. El ple d'investidura del candidat Carles Puigdemont i Casa Major es manté convocat i se celebrarà un cop assegurem un debat d'investidura efectiu i amb garanties.
The judges in Madrid met at 1 p.m. and upheld a condition on Puigdemont's presidential bid. But these were only precautionary measures, while, under Spanish law, they will have a final say on the legality of the deposed president's endeavour to be reinstated, given his particular situation. With the judges making no final decision on the main issue, it became clear that the parliamentary session wasn't going to be held today. So, what's next? The deadline for the debate is tomorrow, but given the new situation, this will probably change. Yet it's not clear what the next deadline will be. The Constitutional Court has given the parties involved 10 days to appeal. After that, a decision will be taken, so Torrent might not call the debate until then. In fact, the standoff is likely to last for some days. In the meantime, Puigdemont is still in Belgium, with no European arrest warrant against him, yet unable to set foot on Spanish soil. He would almost certainly end up in jail if he were to return.
All the parties in the chamber had their say over the postponement, and each of them reacted differently. Within the unionist bloc, some voices welcomed Torrent's decision, while others took a tougher stance. Torrent's party, Pro-Independence Esquerra, defended his decision, but Puigdemont's candidacy criticised not holding the debate today, as the far-left CUP also did. Together for Catalonia complained about Esquerra and Torrent not informing them about the move beforehand, so discrepancies between the two parties supposed to form a coalition government were made clear today.
Junts per Catalunya no sabíem res. El discurs el compartim, de fet ens sentim que és el nostre discurs també i no tenim res a dir amb el discurs. No compartim que s'hagi d'ajornar més enllà d'avui.
Hem vingut a un ple que estava legítimament convocat per avui i que de cap manera compartim que sigui ajornat.
Que és molt important tenir clar que el ple no es desconvoca, que el ple s'ajorna, que el ple s'ajorna per garantir una investidura eficient y eficaz.
El señor Torrent no está solucionando el problema, está haciendo una huida hacia adelante, está alargando l'agonia del procés.
És una decisió que compartim, que saludem pel seu caràcter de decisió prudent.
La suspensió d'aquest ple el que demostra és la desorientació de l'independentisme i la prova d'això és que tenim constància que el propi candidat Carles Puigdemont s'ha assabentat a través dels mitjans de comunicació de la suspensió d'aquest ple.
This evening, Carles Puigdemont was set to appear at a pro-independence Flemish event in a town near Brussels. However, he cancelled at the last minute. Instead, he then released a statement about the developing events all the way back in Barcelona.
El que ens ha dut fins aquí ha estat la unitat. No la perdem. És el que assumien els qui ens volen a la presó i a l'exili per molts anys. Mantinguem-nos units. L'estat espanyol continua fent el xantatge d'obligar-nos a escollir un president i un govern que els complegui a ells, o altrament mantindran en vigor, sense cap rubor ni remordiment, el cop d'estat del 155.
The action wasn't only taking place inside Parliament. Thousands of pro-independence supporters made their presence known outside as well. They were hoping to see Puigdemont invested as president, but they found themselves venting their frustration when the investiture debate was postponed, and even managed to break through a police cordon to get closer to the government headquarters.
Today was a day when pro-independence supporters were summoned to cheer the reinstatement of Carles Puigdemont as president and to celebrate the end of Madrid's takeover of Catalonia. The decision to postpone the investiture debate, though, left many puzzled, but that did not prevent them from massively taking to the streets once again. Wearing masks in support of Puigdemont, people first gathered in front of the Catalan government headquarters in Barcelona. The demonstration, called by pro-independence grassroots organizations, later moved to the epicenter of the political uncertainty on Tuesday, the Catalan Parliament. And while the rally was supposed to take place in the surroundings of the chamber, some managed to get closer than what was expected.
Here in front of the Catalan Parliament, there is a sight that is not common to see during a plenary session as important as the one that was originally scheduled for today. Some of the protesters who were outside of the park, outside of the restricted area, demanding that Puigdemont be invested as president, have jumped the barriers and are now standing directly in front of the Catalan Parliament, faced with Mossos d'Esquadra, the Catalan police, protesting peacefully.
Police officers had been guarding the parliament all day long to prevent a surprise arrival from Puigdemont, with some even checking inside the trunks of some MPs. But when demonstrators got past the police cordon, with some people jumping over the Parc de la Ciutadella fences, there were clashes between police officers and protesters. Pro-independence organizations eventually called off the demonstration and stressed the importance of peaceful protesting, stating that, as always, this is what the rally had been.
And the demonstration in front of the Catalan Parliament is not the only event tied to the independence roadmap that happened today. Just like the Constitutional Court, the Spanish Supreme Court has also been busy as the case against pro-independence leaders continues. Judge Llarena is to summon the former Catalan president, Artur Mas, among other former MPs who played a relevant role in the run-up to the referendum and the Declaration of Independence. A total of 6 politicians will have to testify in Madrid in mid-February. They are being investigated for the roles they played in the push for independence last autumn. 3 former Catalan ministers also testified today. They admitted to voting in favour of the October 1st referendum last year and explained why they resigned, citing personal reasons. As part of the same investigation, the same judge is keeping 4 other pro-independence leaders in jail. 5 more, including Puigdemont, are in Belgium. In other news, there is much more to Catalonia than Barcelona. In fact, the southern Catalan city of Tarragona also has a lot to offer visitors, from Roman ruins to beautiful surrounding scenery, aside from the beach. So it's no surprise that tourism there is on the rise. More than 2 million tourists visited Tarragona in 2017, 11% more than the previous year. Even the number of visitors staying overnight increased, breaking the 500,000 barrier and reaching 1.4 million people. Both hotels and campsites alike have more guests staying over, which is good news for the local tourism industry. And it could even be better in the near future, with the leisure complex being built by Hard Rock not very far from this ancient city. As well as drawing attention today on a political level, the Catalan capital is also a hub for fashion this week with the return of 080 Barcelona Fashion.
080 Barcelona Fashion is in its 21st edition, and this time it promises to be a fashion show for a new generation, showcasing relative newcomers to the scene, ubiquitous with the 21st century way of doing things. Influencers, Instagrammers and bloggers will all be featured this year. Altogether, they have more than 3 million followers on social media. The event was inaugurated with the appropriately named Millennial Couture fashion line. Fashionistas can see a step towards the future of fashion for themselves, with a mixing of the old and new, and a nod to the modern ways of the world.
Y esto es un poco el reflejo de los clásicos vestidos de costura de principios de siglo, de Worth, de Dior, de Balenciaga, evidentemente salvando las diferencias, obvio, pero con este aire un poco más fresco o actual para la generación millennial.
For the designer José María García González of the C. González fashion line, inaugurating the show was a dream come true. Aside from the 13 social media stars, 16 professional models also strutted their stuff on the catwalk. and for aficionados of the industry, some of their names might ring a bell. The likes of Dulceida, Jessica Goicoechea, Laura Escanes, and Marta Riumbau are well known in this scene. The winter edition of the Barcelona Fashion Week will take place at the Recinta Modernista de Sant Pau until Friday, February the 2nd. A total of 32 designers and brands will be featured on the runway.
That's all from us for our special edition of Catalan News here in the Parliament. Here behind me are the steps that a new president would have been walking on today if the plenary session had not been postponed. But we'll have to wait longer for that day to come. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.